What's up, guys? Welcome back to SoberTube. Today is a special episode. We're going to highlight a new friend of mine. His name is Dan. I just met him recently on Instagram. He reached out to me, and I'm really excited because Dan is a social worker, and we've never interviewed a social worker before, so this is really exciting. So without further ado, I'm going to give you guys my new friend Dan, and I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys soon.
Sure. So my name is Dan. I am a social worker that currently I live up on the North Shore of Long Island in Nassau County, and for a living I do individual and group therapy at an outpatient drug and alcohol program down on the South Shore in Valley Stream. The Sober Highway is an Instagram and Facebook page that I created, I want to say about a month and a half, 2 months ago, where I post recovery-related memes, motivational quotes, and any other resources that I think that people in recovery in the Long Island and New York area can find helpful. I think that, like we've talked about before, I think that there's no one better to help an addict than another addict. However, I think there are things that social workers or any therapist in general can help someone with. For example, there may be certain connections to certain life events that someone's experienced that maybe a therapist can help someone make, that, you know, someone in, you know, that's not a clinician or like a licensed counselor could do. There, you know, we go through a lot of training. We learn a lot of different like therapy techniques to help, you know, people, you know, get things out that they had never kept in before, that they never talked about before. We call those evoking skills. And also, I think that when you can set up an environment where someone feels comfortable and it's a judgment-free zone and they're bound by the law, like the state law and, you know, the law of the United States government, where we can't share anything outside of that office with anyone, it really makes them feel safe and more willing to share whatever's on their mind. But there are a few people that I've worked with that came in at really low points in their life, and to see all the stuff that they've accomplished over the course of the time that we've been working together, it's really remarkable. And that's one of the reasons why I love this job, because they accomplish all of these great things, and I played a very, very small part, and I don't know, it just makes me feel really good to see someone completely do like a 180 and know that I played a part in that. It is never too late to get help. That's the one thing I would always stress to people. Just because we're in the middle of a pandemic right now, it doesn't mean that help is not available to you. I would argue that more help is available to you now than it has ever been, because we know this is a tough time for people. So as soon as you feel like you want to get help, there are people to call, places to go where you can get the help that you need.
Awesome. Dan, thank you so much for coming and spending some time with me so I can get to know you. And there's definitely some value in what you said. And I don't know if I've ever spoken about this, actually. You know, I always talk about how the importance of is getting a sponsor and doing the 12 steps. And in my personal recovery, I see a therapist, and at times I was seeing 2 therapists a week. A big part of my recovery was building a toolbox. So, you know, there's not just one fit for every single person. So I'm a firm believer that you can have a sponsor and do the 12 steps, which is kind of like the old school meat and potatoes version of recovery, which I am a firm believer in. But I'm also a believer in checking in with once a week with a social worker or a therapist. I think that the more tools you have in your toolbox and the more different avenues and personalities of people that want to help you that you can have, is just you building a team of people that support you. So having a social worker, I think, is a tremendous has tremendous value in your recovery. So I'm a firm believer in that. So I'm so glad that Dan gave us his time today. So he could also, people might be like, oh, what's a social worker? What's one look like? He looks just like all of us. He's just a regular guy that wants to help people, and I love that. And also, I'm a big fan of his Sober Highway Instagram, because the first thing that it did for me was it made me laugh. And, people don't realize that recovery is fun. And I'm a firm believer in, having a good time in sobriety, and everything doesn't always have to be so serious. We can look back at the things that we did and laugh. So Dan, you are the man. I appreciate you coming and spending some time with me. And I really think everybody should check out the Sober Highway so they can connect with Dan. It's a really cool page. I'm a believer in it. And guys, thanks for coming to SoberTube, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next episode.